So having got this, we will proceed further in order to solve a problem. When we solve a problem, the things will be much more clear. A problem on the design for shear with vertical stirrups. As I have mentioned earlier, there are three types of shear reinforcements. One is vertical stirrup, one is inclined stirrups, and third is bent up bars. So first we have taken the design with vertical stirrups. So let us understand this. Problem 3.1 says a rectangular beam of 230 by 500 mm effective depth carries an UDL of 38.5 kN per meter under working condition inclusive of self weight. The beam has 3 bars of 20 mm diameter and it is simply supported. Effective span is 4.5 meters. It has M25 concrete and Fe415 steel. So we are supposed to design for shear. We have been given the instructions over here. So now in this we write the data. The data is B equal to 230 mm, D equal to 500 mm, W is 38.5 kilonewton per meter, AST is 3 bars of 20. It's a simply supported beam with L as 4.5 meters, M25 concrete, Fe415 steel. So all that we have got over here. Now we are starting with the design for shear with vertical stirrups. We have been told to design for shear with vertical stirrups. Now first step, calculate the value of VU. Calculate the value of ultimate reaction, the shear force. Now VU we know for a simply supported beam with UDL is WL by 2. So VU will be equal to this W is in working condition what has been given. So that has been multiplied by 1.5. So 1.5 multiplied by 38.5 gives me the ultimate multiplied by 4.5 divided by 2. Please note that the load has been converted to ultimate load. So load has been converted to ultimate load because this is VU. It is not V, it is VU. So that's why it has been multiplied by 1.5. So we get the value of VU as 129.94 kilonewton. Having got this, we go to the second step. Second step is calculate the value of tau V, the nominal shear stress. The nominal shear stress is calculated as VU upon BD. So that is given as 129.94, that is this value, into 10 raised to 3, so as to convert to newtons because this is in kilonewton. 230 mm is the width and 500 mm is the effective depth. So we get the value of nominal shear stress tau V as 1.13 Newton per mm square. We get the value of tau V as 1.13, nominal shear stress as 1.13 Newton per mm square. We go to step 3, find the value of tau C max. Obviously we know that the value of tau V should not be greater than tau C max, otherwise we have to redesign the section. So we have to check the value of tau C max. So when we look at this, the type of concrete given to us is M25 concrete. So in this, for M25 concrete, tau C max is 3.1. So tau C max for M25 concrete is 3.1 Newton per mm square. Step number 4, compare tau C max and tau V. Now tau C max is 3.1 Newton per mm square. It is greater than tau V, which is 1.13 Newton per mm square. So its own capability is much more. The capability in the sense, sorry, it's the maximum stress concrete can take is much more. Its capability we will be finding it later, but the amount of stress it can take maximum before failure is much more, so there is no problem, we can proceed with the design. Step number 5, if tau C max is greater than tau V, find the value of its own capability tau C from the value of area of steel provided in flexural tension continuing at least one effective depth from the section considered. So suppose if I am considering it at any other point, so that is the amount of steel I have to consider. So consider the area of steel provided in the flexural tension. If it is at the support, there is no problem, I don't have to bother about this. So AS is 3 times pi by 4 into d square. It is 3 times pi by 4 into 20 square because 3 bars of 20 are provided. So we get AS as 942 mm square. Having got that as 942 mm square, find 100 AS upon BD because this first column has 100 AS upon BD. So 100 into 942 divided by 230, and this is 500. So we get this value as 0.82. We get this value as 0.82. Now 100 AS upon BD is 0.82. So we need to search where it is. So it falls somewhere in between these two, 0.75 and 1, somewhere in between these two. And the type of concrete which we are having is M25 concrete. So we are looking at 0.57 and 0.64. Values for 0.75 is 0.57. For 1 it is 0.64. That's the one. That's the one. So by interpolation we get tau c as 0.589. For the value of AS upon BD which is needed is 0.82. So for 0.82 we get tau c when we calculate, that is 0.57 plus the difference between these two divided by difference between these two multiplied by difference between what is required and the smaller one. Look at this, 0.57 the smaller one plus difference between these two 0.64 and 0.57 divided by, in the same sequence, difference between these two, that is 1 and 0.75 multiplied by 0.82 minus 0.75. So when we solve this we get the value of tau c as 0.589. Please note, if this value does not come in between these two, that means there is some mistake somewhere. Having got this done, having got the value of tau c, next step number 6 is compare tau c and tau v. Tau c which we have got over here is 0.589 Newton per mm square. It is less than tau v which is 1.13 Newton per mm square. So that means the beam's own capability of resisting shear is much less than the shear which is coming from outside. When I say shear, over here it's the shear stress. The beam's own capability of resisting the shear stress is less than the shear stress which is coming from outside. So in that case we are going to next step. So we are looking at, when this is the condition, we are looking at 7b, the step 7b. If tau v is greater than tau c, tau v is greater than tau c, that means tau c is less than tau v, so tau v is greater than tau c. Assume the diameter of the shear stirrups and the number of legs of the stirrups. So we assume two-legged, two verticals and 8 mm diameter vertical stirrups. So calculate VUS. Now VUS is calculated as VU, the external acting force, the reaction which is coming, the shear force, minus tau c, its own capability, into BD. So VUS, the force to be resisted by the stirrups, is 129.94 into 10 raised to 3 to convert into Newton, minus this is 0.589 which we have calculated, multiplied by 230 into 500. Having solved this further, we get this as 67.804 into 10 raised to 3. So the balance force which has to be taken up by the shear stirrups is 62.136 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. So the shear stirrups will have to be provided to take care of this much. Please note, this value obtained over here is the value of tau c BD. So this much force can be resisted by the concrete beam due to its own self, due to its own mechanism. So that is 67.804 into 10 raised to 3. So in order to make up to 129.94 into 10 raised to 3, 62.136 into 10 raised to 3 has to be taken care of by the stirrups. Now calculate ASV. AS, or that ASV is equal to 2 into 2 is the number of legs, pi d square by 4. So 2 legs into pi by 4 into 8 square. So this comes to 100 mm square. Having got this done, calculate the spacing of the vertical stirrups from the equation given for vertical stirrups, clause 40.4a on page 72 and 73. So we have to look at this particular formula. So VU minus tau c BD we have already found out. This is VU minus tau c BD is equal to VUS. So VUS we have already calculated. We already have ASV which has been calculated as 100. Effective depth we know. So this is 62.136 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to 0.87415. This is 100. This is 500 divided by SV. So we get the value of SV as 290.53 mm. Calculating this, solving this, we get the value of SV as 290.53 mm. Now the problem does not get over here. We have to give the check for minimum shear reinforcement and the maximum spacing. What can be the maximum spacing? Is this enough or should we change this? Let us have a look. Give a check for provision of minimum shear reinforcement as per IS 456-2000, clause 26.5.1.6, page number 48. So ASV upon BSV greater than or equal to 0.4 upon 0.87 FY. ASV is 100, B is 230, SV we are trying to find out, greater than or equal to 0.4 upon 0.87 into 415. So SV should be less than or equal to 392.44 as per this. When we solve this, we get the value of SV less than or equal to 392.44 mm. Apart from this, there is another condition. Check for maximum spacing as per IS 456-2000, clause 26.5.1.5, given on page 47 and 48. So as per this, the maximum spacing of shear reinforcement measured along the axis of the member shall not be greater than 0.75 D for vertical stirrups. That is exactly what is important for us. So SV equal to not greater than, it should be not greater than 0.75 D. SV is 0.75 into 500. So SV cannot be more than 375, or in no case it will be more than 300 mm. SV cannot be more than 300 mm. So over here it is all SV not greater than this, SV not greater than this. So SV not greater than 375, SV not greater than 300. So we have got previously the answer is 290.34. Over here we have got spacing as 392.44. Then we got 375 mm and 300 mm. So we have to choose the minimum most, the least amongst these four. The least in this is 290.53 mm. So provide two-legged 8 mm dia stirrups anywhere lesser than this or equal to this we can provide. So I'm providing 250 center to center. So provide two-legged 8 mm dia stirrups at 250 center to center. Now that's the beam, 3 bars of 20 mm. These, as explained earlier, are the 2 bars of 8. These are the hanger bars. Now look at this. This is the way we depict two-legged 8 dia stirrups, that is written over here. It starts from this point. In this zone there is no stirrup required. In this zone there is no stirrup required. So stirrups are provided from here to here. The spacing of two-legged 8 dia stirrups is 250 mm center to center throughout from here to here. If I take a cross section, the cross section looks like this. It is 230 mm, that is the width. 500 mm, that is the effective depth. 550 mm is the overall depth, and that's the stirrup. If you observe, now the stirrup tore 8 dia at 200 center to center. So that's the way we depict in the elevation, cross-sectional elevation over here, and the cross section over here. So that's how we depict over here, and that's the one problem on design of shear with vertical stirrups.